Okay. Alrighty. How we doing? Okay, that works. Okay. I think I'm going to get started now after I have a sip of water. Greetings and welcome. My name is Alex Parker. This is my YouTube channel, and today we're doing a live streaming, a live reading of a story called 1000 Lies. Now, if you've been watching my channel at all, you notice that I did a few videos on it, and then I kind of said, well, because it's really better off to get it more in larger chunks, I decided I'd live stream it rather than just split it up into half an hour chunks. Especially because it'll help with continuity and it'll just be more fun that way and easier for me to do it. So, anyways, uh, I've been through the whole story already personally because I couldn't help myself. So, this will be just more of a reading of it. I really enjoyed the story. It's really well done, great presentation. The art's great. The music is spectacular. And so the guy who done this, his name is Keinart Lobre. I don't know if that's proper way to spell it, but it's his name's in the description below. And I definitely recommend download this and check it out for yourself, or check out some of his other stuff. I haven't looked at his other stuff yet, but if they're anything like this, I'm sure that they're spectacular and fun. He also has a YouTube channel, but there's not much related to his novel work, but it's really great. He does a good job. So, without further ado, I'm going to switch this over. Alrighty. I apologize. My computer makes a lot of noise. I can't help it. I got to change my CPU fan. Whoa! Oh no, oh no, oh no. What's going on? Having some technical difficulties here. Remove that. One moment. We'll get started here. I'm just technical difficulties. And oh, you guys don't want to see the cursor either. Normally I'd start off the initial screen, but I don't, because I played through it, the screen looks a little different, so I don't want to spoil the stuff that appears on the screen after you've gone through the story. But anyways, let's go. Let's get started here. Much like the origin of our dreams, three youths forged their friendships out of unclear beginnings. The innocence of their childhood souls knew nothing of the ulterior motives that the jaded mind of an adult might have. It's a pity that no decision knows of virtue, a fabrication which lies beyond the chromatic spectrum of consequences that adults insist on simplifying only as either black or white. So they maintain that lies should not be told. Lying is wrong. With empty words, they wage their futile battle against human nature, pretending to know of what they speak. It's ironic how, rather than erasing lies by teaching us not to fabricate falsehoods, we learn to make them better. After all, who honestly seeks the truth? We only open our eyes to the confirmations of our biases. And that's strange because, in my opinion, there is no one who is more sincere with their words than the greatest liar of them all. Notes fell readily from my memory and onto the piano keys at my fingertips, recreating the trite sounds of Maestro Debussy's esteemed melody. I played for no attentive listeners in no grand auditorium. Only one man fell within earshot of my tune. As weak with his words as with his posture, he shifted his eyes about in a mixture of fear and doubt. Even if I were to close my eyes, I could draw his features in the void with nothing more than my memories. Every feature, every pulsing movement, the signs on his face that age had yet to win its long battle against his youth. I can still taste the crisp, bittersweet flavor my mind gave to the air on the day I found him, staring so intently at the starry sky as if he wanted to leave the rest of the world behind. That infamous night, quietly overseen by Maestro Debussy, would change everything forever. Come on! Want to go see how haunted that mansion really is? The boy could hardly contain his excitement as he spoke. His two friends, his only audience, frowned in response, reluctant to give him their answer. They couldn't be fooled by such superstitions as ghosts, nor were they motivated to spend their time disproving their existence. Yet somehow they just couldn't find it in themselves to say no to their eager friend, perhaps due to his eloquence, or to be frank, his persistence. Their entrance was heralded by abandoned spiderwebs, ramshackle walls, and frayed curtains. Unfortunately, there were no specters to speak of. The boy had little need of his ghosts now, though, for the trembling signs of fear that gripped his friend served more than adequately as his entertainment for the day. So, our intrepid leader took point, taking his exploration party deeper into the dust-veiled interior of the old mansion. He brought his attention to a single book laid atop an aging podium, a sure sign that no pages of content were no more worthy of reading than those found within this centerpiece on display. Its words were still legible, if only just, and apart from the rest of its treatise on keeping close relationships unbroken, it offered a dire warning. Desecrating that which does not belong to you will bring nothing but punishment. That which you love will inevitably become the greatest of your fears. When during the syzygy 3 elements must become 2, which one will you discard? If it had been a spell from a witch's book, the 3 youths lacked the knowledge to understand it. Nonetheless, they would soon regret having brought life to the words upon the page. From out of the darkness, shackles appeared and bound the 3 together with unbreakable chains that only they could see, doomed to keep each other's company eternally. Hey, do you think I could learn to play the piano? Are you serious? Why should I bother to teach you? You've had more time to learn than I have. No, that's not what I meant. I was just curious. Well, it's a simple question with a long and complicated answer, so here it is. No. What? Why not? Do you really need me to spell it out for you? You're the expert. It shouldn't be hard to tell me what's wrong. What's wrong? Oh, where do I begin? For example, those sausage links you call your fingers. You think there's any instrument that would accommodate you? Sounds like you're just trying to make me go away. I've never heard of anyone not being able to play piano for such a stupid reason. I suppose that depends on your goals. You can bang away at the keys to your heart's content, for example. You're not very good at this pep talk thing, you know. It was a strange spell which bound the 3 youths together. Should they try to spread out and seek their own paths, the chains on their legs would grow tighter, keeping them together. But if 2 of them agreed to stay close to each other, they could grant a 3rd prisoner an extended length of distance. The links in the chains were uninterrupted by obstacles. They only enforced the proximity by which its prisoners must be held. Still, they could find a way to live with their curse, with none but themselves being the wiser to it. And how could anyone believe that 3 friends had been physically bound by a chain which eludes the sight of everyone but its prisoners, passes through all obstructions, and is untouchable to anyone else? Under the premise that they used to spend all their time together, none of them thought this incident would harm their lives too much. Using their imaginations, they could manage some way to go on with their lives. In time, a change came upon them. Just as the origins of their friendship remained unclear, so too would it be difficult to pin down just what had kept them united. The light of their childhood innocence would die a slow death, or perhaps even that innocence was another lie fabricated to disguise their selfishness. These were the thoughts which plagued the leader's mind as he began to silently observe the faces of the ones he once called his friends, who had now become unrecognizable to him. And unable to find the words from his apology, he chose to simply run away. Come off it already. You didn't come here for a piano lesson. If you got something to say, spit it out already. But the kid merely choked on his words, unable to force his thoughts into the open air. You don't have to say a thing if you don't want to. You're a grown man and you can make your own decisions. You don't need me to tell you what to do. Just know that every choice comes with a price. I don't want you to come crying to me later as if I were responsible for your decisions. Through the corner of my eye, I could see that no amount of shaming language would drive him away, yet he still milled about in his own indecisiveness. I sighed audibly, making my displeasure with our status quo abundantly clear. Fine. Do you want to know what made me want to learn how to play the piano? It had been an impromptu change of subject, surprising even myself. I was never one for improvisation. Bringing a close to the piano's melody, I pushed myself away from the keys. I raised my hands up, as if to display them alongside my words. I'll tell you what spurred me on to play this instrument. It was after someone told me the most discouraging thing. That with fingers as thick as mine, I would never be able to play any instrument. So he ran, struggling against his own loss of breath until the cruel chains trailing behind rose up to remind them of their limited strength. But that would not stop him. Surrender was beyond his understanding now. No senseless witchcraft would be allowed to outperform his willpower. He didn't care about the blood or the pain. He would keep on running, empowered by his will, even if his leg were to break. The chain stretched with each step, with the metallic echo of the links breaking behind him. Groaning under the pressure, each link in the chain warped and bent to the breaking point, struggling to match the strength of his determination. So it was that the curse vanished into thin air, leaving no trace that it had ever bound anyone together. Only then did he return to his senses to find what he had bled and suffered to gain: solitude in a barren land bereft of his peers. Even his footsteps had vanished in the trail behind him. He was truly alone. Never again would he be able to find the important people he had lost. Chapter 1. Based on a true story, or rather, based on a story that should be true. Engine, I know how you feel about me, but I mean, we spend a lot of time together. It's fun being with you, but you're a great friend, so it'd be better not to lose that. I'm sorry, Engine. I don't know what I'm saying. Why did you have to confess to me here and now? It's not you, it's me. Is that what you wanted to say? But the truth is that until now, I was your second choice. The backup in case the first didn't pan out. Am I wrong? No, it's not like that, I swear. That's precisely the issue, Ziva. I'm tired of hedging my words with you, with everyone. I knew that nothing could ever be the same after confessing, after expressing how I felt. I thought you would accept my feelings and I was happy. I couldn't believe that someone like me could connect with another person. I need to turn down the music volume a little bit. Sorry. Although now I see it was all fake. I've been thinking about it and now it's clear to me. One of us has been playing with the other's emotions without considering the consequences. And now you don't even have the courage to go back in spite of finding out the truth. Don't you see that with that attitude we can only hurt ourselves? I thought I loved and adored you. Now I'm not so sure. Maybe I was deceiving myself all those times we spent together. Or maybe it was just my lack of experience. The only thing I do know is that we can't keep going down this painful road. Even so, a part of me doesn't want to let you go, even if that means we're only friends. Even knowing the suffering that awaits me. Karen, what are you thinking? How could you say something like that? Whispers spread throughout the classroom. Sorry about that. A little loud. As expected, we become the center of attention and students from all the nearby classrooms crowd around to eavesdrop. The pressure put on me by the current situation makes my legs begin to shake. Still, somehow, I manage to look calm and composed. Come on, Ziva, Kiar, let's take a minute to calm down, okay? Don't think it'd be better to talk about this later? The next class is going to start any moment, and I don't think... You're the one to talk, Oss. Everything is your fault, after all. Huh? What did I do now? So you already knew. Nobody told me if that's what you're worried about. I figured it out on my own. I just had to put two and two together. I don't think I understand what's going on. Would someone care to explain? Yeah, Ziva, do it. Explain it to him. I wouldn't be able to forgive myself if I ruined the lives of my two best friends because I was selfish. I've already been rejected. Are you sure about that, Engine? I don't want to. Ziva puts her hand on my shoulder as she tries to cheer me up. I nod at her to indicate that she can continue. Then I choose to walk away, leaving them in silence. Pushing my way past a crowd of students and a teacher, I head into the hallway without ever looking back. I'm running away, I know, but there are times when being a coward is the only way to survive on the battlefield. From the hallway, I can still hear what's happening on the other side of the door. I can hear the woman I love declaring her love for another man. The students inside the classroom suddenly erupt in various noisy reactions. The combined sound deafens everyone else. Even then, there's still a sound I can't ignore. My heart is broken, leaving me empty inside. How foolish. I'm no more than a feeble cuckold resigned to never leave his nest. My soul is sinking further into the drain of desperation while the world keeps spinning. I'm unable to bear the sound of everyone else's happiness. My sanity is blinded by jealousy, which in turn causes me to retreat into loneliness. I'm not even a third of the man I used to be. For what reason should I keep this farce up? I'm sorry, Ziva. I'd be lying if I said I didn't like you. Then what's the problem? There is no problem. You're beautiful. Any man's ideal woman. I've dreamt of you many times, of us being together, going on walks while I hold your hand, even our wedding. I've dreamt of the house we would buy, the 3 kids we would have, the names we would give them. Us? But it's impossible now. The truth is, I'm in love with someone else. So it's true. I had suspected it, but I couldn't believe it. She's here, right? That's right. I'm talking about the new substitute teacher. Everybody's alarm bells goes off. In unison, everyone's gaze shoot towards the entrance of the classroom. Standing there is the wide-eyed substitute teacher, ready for her very first class. The tension causes her to drop her books. A soft, stuttering noise is all that her brain can process right now. Regardless, she didn't need to say anything, not before she got cut off by sudden hysterical applause. Great. How fantastic. I knew beforehand that something like this might happen. The silence is deafening. You can see the pity growing on everyone's faces. It feels as if the Grim Reaper himself has sentenced them all to an ill fate. You had wanted to confess before Oss did. Both of us knew what he had been planning, and about this unrequited love for the teacher that the rest of his class hadn't met yet. That's why we had to move on ahead. You out of fear, and I out of despair. My words, parted by the sound of my breathing and accompanied by the sound of my steps, crashed down upon Ziva as I walked to my desk. Although the weight of her actions is crashing down upon her shoulders, Ziva manages to rise up again, purely out of self-pity. Despite knowing that, you still took the risk. I don't understand you, Engine. I don't think I ever will. In the end, it seems the two of us had the same goal. I guess we're more alike than I thought. No, we aren't alike. My hand clumsily reaches for something to grasp until I clutch something, while my face twists into a distorted smile. I convince myself that this time I'll really win, and I won't let go. I can prove to you that my love is real. I can show you just how strong my resolve is, Ziva. The scissors! He grabbed the scissors! Don't do it, Kiar! We can still talk it over! Engine! No! No! Taking my own life, I mercilessly pierced through my chest. I thought I was empty inside. But my hands are stained with blood. I guess I can't change how I feel after all. Goodbye, Ziva. It's over! Mission accomplished! Engine is dead! Thank you all. I hope you had as much fun as I did. The spectators begin to clap. Due to Ziva's popularity, she receives the most attention. You can only hear them cheer her name. Seeing her play that kind of role is something new and bold, something the audience excitedly welcomes. A job well done. There's no better way to start the day, right, compañero? Oz helps me get up, then I shake off the ketchup on my clothes. My shirt is a complete wreck, but what could I do? It's a small price to pay in exchange for some laughs. We are known as the class clowns for nothing. We eat pranks like this for breakfast. You weren't yourself. You were beating around the bush too much. What the hell was that about with the wedding and the kids? Believe me, bud, it's not every day that you can get a confession from Ziva, even if it was just acting. It's totally normal to start picturing things like a wedding and our 4 future children together. Wasn't it 3? A lot of things have happened since then, compañero. Ignoring my friend's reproductive capacity in his dream world, I tried to get the class's attention. The show may be over, but the MC still has something left to say. Please, listen, I have something to announce. Be quiet until I'm finished. Ladies and gentlemen, and Oz. How am I not a gentleman? Thank you for coming to our little production. I do hope all of you enjoyed it. But we mustn't forget to whom we've dedicated this practical joke, someone who also had a small role to play. A round of applause for our already beloved substitute teacher. Whoop. Please, come up to the stage and introduce yourself. We don't even know your name yet. The target of all the shouts and whistles, our victim, stands petrified against the wall, even paler than before. At first she appears frightened, then she frowns until finally she scowls and begins puffing air out of her nose like an enraged bull. Excuse me, I need some water. What other action could we expect from our little prank? Right, the 3 of us end up in the principal's office. "1,000 lies, ladies and gentlemen." It's now recess at Duquesne Institute. Oz and I go for a walk outside of the school grounds, wandering with no particular destination in mind, through the street that serves as the heart of our small town. It's become our routine. It's not even that big in the first place, but we live in a modest European town whose inhabitants thrive off a rich history and modern-day political lies. I lived here my entire life, and the only positive quality I can think of is the fresh, unpolluted air. In other words, it's really boring here. Although it's still better to die of boredom than to try to deal with those little brats back at the school. Damn, I never expected it for it to end so badly. I didn't even think it was a big deal. Even though we were pranking everyone more often than before, we haven't done anything too terrible. I guess that's just a risk we took while doing it to a new teacher. Some people take life too seriously. The comedian standing next to me is Os Ildween. He's a perverted, narcissistic guy who can't decide whether he loves women or his own reflection more. He calls himself a lady killer, and I can confirm that it's true, in a literal sense. From shock and terror, usually. Well, to be honest, I know he has a reputation as a womanizer around the school, but from what I've seen, I'm skeptical. He has stuck to me like a parasite ever since I transferred to this school a few years ago. Since then, just like with our little play, we've wasted our time pulling pranks and being dumbasses together. I'm just faking it, but he really has a natural talent for it. Because of our infamous endeavors, no one can take us seriously. That's why we're known as class clowns above all else. In all the years we've been studying here, we've never gotten into any major trouble, just sometimes getting lectured or complained at. The fact that Os, although it may seem impossible, has the highest grade in his class probably has something to do with it. And I'm just a pretty face, I guess. I'm a lucky guy who knows how to escape before the smoke sets off the alarm. But it seems we've scared the new teacher a little too much, especially by pretending she might have an immoral relationship with a student. But what else should we have expected from an age that places precedence on political correctness? Real issues are shrugged off while everyone is off living in their own bubbles, dreading that someone may try to pop it. Basically, right now they're discussing where they should chop off our heads and which weapon to use, axe or guillotine. I don't regret it, though. It really wasn't that bad. They're just too sensitive. Hey, are you listening to me? Are you doodling again? Every time I get distracted, you always have your nose in that notebook. It's impressive how long it can take for Os to notice his surroundings. Since we've left, I've been writing in this small pocket-sized notebook that I always keep with me. And no, I wasn't listening to him. I don't consider it healthy to pay attention to him anyways. I've asked you a couple times already. Are you going to show me that you're writing eventually or not? We've been friends for 6 years, Still, you've never let me see it. I puff and close my notebook with my thumb and index finger. It's a question that I should expect by now, seeing as this fixation of mine usually catches everyone's attention at some point. No, it's not weird to write entries in a diary or to jot down ideas, neither of which was what I was doing. It's only because I do it so often that it's even noteworthy. What am I writing? No, Oz, your question is incorrect, seeing as I'm not the one who's writing anything. It's my hand. It moves by itself. Every time I have the premonition of a catastrophe, my fingers themselves scribe a future into this notebook. I've been keeping it a secret because of this power. If put in the wrong hands, could be used for evil. Catastrophe? Wait a second. Are you shitting me? Catastrophe how? Am I in danger? My friend's verbosity suddenly accelerates within a second. Meanwhile, I open the notebook and read what I had just written, then turn my gaze away and bite my lip. Hey, I don't like that face. What'd you just read? I hope it's not something harmful to me. At that very moment, I shiver. It was as if lightning had struck me. With no control over my body, I write a short sentence on a new page and then rip it out as the premonition finishes. Okay, now you're just really freaking me out. What did you write? I can't tell you. Hand it over! Oz snatches the crumpled sheet of paper away from me. Finally, while trying to keep a composure that he clearly lacks, he reads its contents. The time is quickly approaching. Something worse than death will hunt you down. Ah! Eh? I only touched your shoulder. Why'd you jump? How are my favorite guys? I got good news. What kind of premonition is this, Kiar? Well, I wrote about something worse than death, and then Ziva came along. I think it hit the mark. What are you talking about, and why do I get the feeling that it isn't good? Let's not get into the details. Kiar was writing in his notebook again, and I wanted to know what it was, since he never tells us. Ziva moves her gaze from Oz to me, blinding me with a sparkle shimmering in her eye so brightly that it resembles a lighthouse. Oh, so Engine was compulsively writing in his notebook again? Can I see what you wrote too? Huh? Can I? She tries to steal my pocket-sized notebook by jumping on me, but since I'm used to her trying this kind of thing, I manage to evade her in time and hide it away in my back pocket. Hands off, Sigmund Freud. Gee, so unfair. If you won't show it to me, then your treatment will never progress, Engine. Don't be deceived by her charm and appeal. Ziva Shani is one of the most dangerous species in the entire world, according to 9 out of 10 experts. While most of my fellow fauna will tell you the opposite since they're all madly in love with her, to me Ziva's nothing more than a headache. I mean, just take a look at her. It's like she's straight out of an RPG with those clothes, but since she's attractive, everyone just turns a blind eye. If I had to describe her, I'd say she's a wannabe psychologist with a touch of insidiousness and deceit, who has also been determined to ruin my life since the very first moment we met earlier this year. Her dream is to go to college and focus on the studies of the human mind, and what better practice than experimenting with mine first. Somehow she found out about my habit of scribbling in my notebook, which she described as interesting, and hasn't stopped bugging me since. She decided I'd be her test subject. Not a week goes by where she doesn't try to psychoanalyze me or fish my paper scraps out of the trash and read them. Even worse, sometimes she tries to steal my notebook so she can discover its secrets. What the? At least now she calls me by my surname. Before that, I was just patient to her. The only thing that needs to be treated is your head, Ziva. Well, what were you going to say before you attacked me? Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I snuck into the teacher's lounge and gave them my biggest, saddest puppy dog eyes so I could pacify them and blah, blah, blah. They only gave me the usual speech and sent me away. Aren't I lucky? Well, that should have been expected. It wasn't that bad. I guess I won't be scolded again this time either. Huh? I wasn't talking about you guys, just me. Then what part of that exactly do you call good news? I thought you'd be happy for me, Engine. I didn't expect you to react so selfishly. Come on, they can't be that hard on us. If they let Ziva get away with it, then our fate will probably be the same. We've done worse things day after day and nothing has ever happened, right? Yeah, but this time it was all the master plan of this lady right here who also insisted on participating in one of our operations with us. And she doesn't even care what happens to her comrades now. Seriously? That explains why Ziva will participate with us in all this, but... I'm good now. Okay, let's continue.
It was you who owed me one, Injun, so stop complaining. Plus, I was just messing with you. I wasn't really hanging out to dry. You don't have to worry about anything. The substitute is angry, but the rest of the staff didn't really take it seriously. The only thing you gotta do now is apologize to her and shed some crocodile tears to show how very sorry you are and you're finished. See how easy it is? I can't believe you don't trust me, Injun. You have such little faith in me.
Little to none. Anyways, that was the bare minimum you could have done since you were involved, so stop grumbling.
I did help you, though, so I want a favor in return. Can you come with me to...
Request denied. No favors.
Jeez.
Come on, what's with the long faces? Remember how in less than a month finals begin? Less fighting and more having a good time so we can leave this place with a good impression, okay? By the way, Ziva, what kind of favor did he owe you, if you don't mind my asking? I think this is the first time I've ever heard of Kiara owing anyone a favor without a bet somehow being involved. Hell, not too long ago he wouldn't do anything unless there was a bet involved.
Oh, it was nothing. I just asked my uncle if he knew about a certain package since he works at the post office. Speaking of which, you never did tell me what that was all about. You told me you'd explain it another time.
I fold my arms in and raise an eyebrow, resigning myself to answer despite my clear lack of interest. It's kind of a bad anecdote, but I guess we have the time anyways. Both Oss and Ziva look at me expectantly. Their interest can't be more apparent. I initially resist, but end up yielding to the pressure. All right, I'll tell you everything, but I'm warning you, it's just a depressing love story.
A love story?
You don't have to tell the entire world, you know.
I wasn't aware that my young and pure Kiara had already become a man. It must have been due to my benevolent influence. Tell me, what kind of person is willing to put up with your eccentricity, compañero mío?
Hey, I always have to put up with you and I don't complain. Quit joking around.
But you complain every single day.
Could you please stop beating around the bush?
Okay. Straight to the point. I get it. I clear my throat before starting. And take a sip of water. Let's see. It all started this one night. I was inside my warm and comfortable room.
But your room is a pigsty. I've seen it.
Warm and comfortable, as I said. I was surfing the tortuous streams of the internet when my eyes fell upon a small ad, hidden under millions of shitty posts on a shitty forum. That's when I saw her, the most beautiful of all muses, the most lovely of all creatures in this calamitous world we're forced to live in. A super rare limited edition figurine carved by God himself.
Don't tell me that you fell in love with a figurine.
You're dead to me, Kiara. You hear me? Dead.
It was limited edition, okay? Ah, that changes everything. What is wrong with you?
Are you going to let me finish or what? Not even memories are respected nowadays. You humans disgust me.
For heaven's sake, can you please just finish?
As I was saying, tribulations soon came to pass. Its price, much like its charm, went beyond the realm of reason. However, I didn't let that stop me. For my love of those 4 inches of hard, solid, shapely plastic outweighed the death knells of my wallet. Although I had now condemned my soul to future insecurities, my heart was aflutter with grace, and I hit purchase.
Now I see where this is all going.
Huh? Seriously?
Well, he never got his delivery. That's why he asked me if I could ask my uncle to check it out.
But that doesn't make sense. Couldn't you just ask the post office yourself?
Here's the problem. I didn't order it under my name. I bought it with my dad's credit card without him knowing about it, kind of. So I can't even pick it up. That's the drama I've imposed upon myself right now. You can leave your snot rags and tear tissues in the garbage to your left. Thank you very much. Now, a round of applause.
You stole your father's credit card. What a model son you are.
Yeah, I'm not proud of it, you know. I regretted it afterwards. I plan on paying him back, but I can't do anything if they lost the package. The weirdest thing is how on the website I ordered it from, the shipping page instantly indicated that it was delivered, signed in for and everything.
How's that even possible?
I don't know, but there's another mystery. Oss, your phone is one of those high-tech ones with internet and stuff, right? Can you lend it to me?
Sure. Give me a minute.
Don't tell me you have internet on your phone in this day and age. Oh, don't tell me you don't have internet on your phone in this day and age, Engine.
My phone was more useful as a hammer than for communicating. Look at the biceps I got from carrying that thing around. The truth is that it broke not too long ago, and now I gotta buy a new one, but I'm lazy and in no hurry. I'll get a new one when a sale comes around.
What an old timer! How is it even possible for someone to live without a smartphone nowadays? You can come back to the future any time now, McFly.
Don't try to reason with him, Ziva. He's a lost cause. Here you go, Kiar. Do you know how to use it?
Oz then shows me an app to check my email with just like I asked him to. I enter my email address and password with ease on the touchpad and open the very first email in my inbox before presenting the screen to my classmates.
Is that a threat?
The email says the following. From Harry H.H.1927 at xxxx.com to Karen and Jen. Subject, not for everybody. Can a figurine really come to life and disappear? If you want to know the truth, go find it. This Monday after class, come to the playground in the deserted neighborhood. Good luck making your first decision. After both of them read it, I hand the phone back to its owner while he's still in shock.
Wait, what's this supposed to mean?
That's what I'd like to know. It's almost like someone's challenging me to a duel.
This is insane. You ordered a figurine. You didn't kill anybody. You didn't kill anybody, right?
A lot of people, every single day. I haven't been a professional hitman for the last 13 years for nothing. Don't look at me like that. Of course I haven't. Yet.
So who's this Harry H., if I may ask?
Don't ask me. I don't know any Harrys. Not to mention that he used one of those free emails that anyone can create. So there's really no way for me to know.
What are you going to do? I can't see the police investigating the kidnapping of a plastic figurine.
It must be some kind of joke. Some internet friend must have known about it and decided to pull a prank on me.
You're just going to ignore it?
Of course. I'm not stupid.
Aren't you curious? I'd like to take a peek, but I wouldn't want to go alone either, just in case.
I can live without knowing. I'm just upset that someone would pull a prank like this after my loss. Doesn't anyone respect true love these days?
That's the problem with you, Engine. Everything outside of your comfort zone bothers you. Preparing a surprise party for you must be hell. If it's just a joke, then you should laugh about it, maybe even go there. It could be fun. What could go wrong, huh?
I have nothing against surprises, but when nothing goes my way, then of course it's going to upset me. Anyways, how did you manage to turn this into an impromptu therapy session? Just so you know, I hate you.
Me? Therapy? What makes you think that? In fact, we can change subjects and talk about something more interesting. For instance, did you notice that during the anecdote you shared with us, you displayed symptoms of kleptomania, compulsive buying disorder, and paraphilia? And you don't have a smartphone.
That's the worst part by far.
I don't have a cell phone, so I don't have to talk to you two outside of school. And why do you care? The most important thing is how everything goes wrong for me, and you aren't helping. Well, we've killed enough time here. We should probably head back to the classroom now. With the intention of leaving before Ziva has the chance to toss me on a couch, Oz stops me with a question.
Hey, Kiara, before we go, I'd like to know one thing. If that notebook doesn't make you clairvoyant, what does?
I chuckle in response. I write 2 short notes on different pages and I tear them off, handing the first one to Oz. I'll give you a hint. It isn't actually clairvoyance, but something similar. I pat him on the arm, bidding him farewell and leaving behind as he reads the note out loud in a hushed voice.
You don't have to flirt with Ziva while I'm looking away. What do you mean? This is more like advice and a premonition. Any bad advice at that.
Did you say my name? Did you write something about me? Let me see it. Maybe I come up with some symptoms Engine knows, using my detective abilities.
Speaking of symptoms, how are yours, Ziva?
What do you mean?
The love sickness you suffered during our little play. It's possible that you suffered some after effects, and I just so happen to know of a good remedy.
Oh no, Oz is delirious. That's cute. We'll treat that some other time, okay?
Ziva walks away, leaving the lone reject behind as he puts his hands in his pockets and sighs. It's then that he finds a second scrap of paper that I wrote, which I had slipped into his right pocket without him noticing.
Because she'll turn you down anyways. Impossible. It's unfair that you can predict these things, Kiar. You won this time.
1,000 lives. So far, so good. I'm really enjoying this. I really like this story. It's a good story. Checking everything. Making sure nothing gone insane on me. Okay. Let us continue, shall we? It had been a while since the day's lessons ended, and I went back home, but that very afternoon I would have to pass by the school again. I leave the clinic that's next door to my school, and I decided to take a detour through the scenic route. There's a park with a small pond located behind the school, and I like to wander there from time to time. It's sloppier than you'd expect. The water's nearly dried up and has a strange hue that is extremely off-putting. That doesn't change the fact that it's quiet and welcoming here when you just want to take a peaceful stroll. As I sit in the park on a bench at the edge of the road, I flip my pen in frustration as I'm unable to recall the words from its paper counterpart. Then, with a heavy sigh, somehow my thoughts are suddenly led astray. I still have time to go and take a look at the place the email mentioned. I remember the place not being too far away from here, and even though I know it's stupid, it still piques my interest. Oh, forget it. Forget it. I said I wouldn't go. Why would I anyways? To make a fool out of myself in front of Ziva? I don't want to prove anything to anyone. Oz also said we should be making the most of the time we have before our final exams. It's true, there isn't much time before the exams begin, and after that I don't have any plans, but is that reason enough for an anything-goes attitude? That isn't the right question. The most important thing now is to think about what I truly want to do, without forgetting to consider the risks. In the worst-case scenario, what could it be? A kidnapping? I'm not important enough to be kidnapped this elaborately. And if it's just a prank, then who cares? I don't even like this town. I'll just leave once I finish high school. I don't really care how the others see me either. I'm curious to know who sent me that stupid email. I should stop overthinking it. Exactly. I should go investigate it and find the truth myself. What now, Ziva? Take that. Thrilled with the results of my monologue, I jump up and flip off a random unsuspecting cloud. It's not like I actually care about the cloud's feelings, but it's obvious that I was caught up in the moment and I had temporarily abandoned my own principles. What nonsense am I even... That's it! You're totally right. I have to change my attitude. To hell with everything. A huge hat flops out of nowhere, concealing a girl underneath it, who then also decides to flip off an unsuspecting cloud. Upon closer inspection, I see that the hat is normal size, but the girl underneath is just puny. For no apparent reason, that shorty walks up to me and answers a question I haven't even asked. What am I doing here? I've been on that bench the entire time. I was drowning in sorrow until you decided to sit next to me. Naturally, I assumed that you were going to hit on me. In fact, I don't know why doesn't happen more often. Although it's a pity that you just had to be so ugly. No hard feelings, but I have high standards. Well, I mean, you're intriguing in your own way, yeah. It isn't good to be so forceful. First impressions aren't everything. Oh, is this me talking? Okay, whoops, I messed it up. It isn't good to be so forceful. First impressions aren't everything, girl. Okay, I think this is her talking. The important thing is that you aren't a pervert. You came to cheer me up. I don't know how you knew what I was thinking, but your words have inspired me. Thank you so very much. All right, I have no idea what's going on. It seems that when I sat here, I didn't realize someone else was sitting here too, and now she thinks I was talking to her all along. That's what I get for thinking out loud. Normally, people would think you're crazy for doing so, and you never expect to attract crazy people. I don't know who she is, but I need to stay calm, like she's a predator. I mustn't let her smell my fear. She's sniffing me. You smell like a good person. I think I'm going to like you after all. You have a better chance than I initially thought. You should be proud of yourself. You're scaring me. I'll do like you said and just enjoy the moment.
My condition shouldn't be an obstacle, and overthinking it isn't going to solve anything. Right, so it's been a pleasure finally meeting you face to face. Until next time. Thank you again.
She leaves as suddenly as she appeared. I'd like to say something in reply, but I'm speechless. In fact, I think I peed myself a little. Tossing aside things I'd rather forget, I'm here to check this place out because of that mysterious email. I was thinking there'd be a cowboy or someone to challenge me to a duel, but nobody else is here. I should have known that considering where I am in an unfinished neighborhood. They started building a ton of complexes here a little less than a decade ago, but they blew the budget before finishing them. This playground is one of the few things they managed to finish, but with no one living around here, it's no wonder that it isn't popular. I can confirm that personally, since I usually pass close to this area when I visit the library, and I've never seen anyone else here before. It seems that I came here for nothing, or at least that's what I think until I spot a leg hanging out amongst the tubes, rails, and slides. Keeping my distance, I sneak around the playground, trying to find out who the leg belongs to. And sitting there is a girl. I immediately recognize not her identity, but the gestures she's making. Between her fingers, she holds a pencil which she uses to trace lines along a sketchbook that's propped up against her knees. While listening closely, I can hear her humming. Sometimes she rubs her pencil against her lips while in thought, or looks away from the sketchbook to view her subject from another perspective. She doesn't seem to notice my presence as I hide behind a tree, planning the best course of action. All right, Kieran. There's nobody else around here, so she must be the one who sent that email, or at least she must somehow be involved with it. So I go out, wanting an explanation of the email. Seems easy enough. As soon as I begin to emerge from my hiding spot, I immediately jolt back behind the tree. Wait a second! If she's waiting for me, then why is she sketching here? She seems too immersed in her drawing to be waiting for someone. She hasn't even looked at anything but her paper and subject. Actually, it must be difficult to see much from her vantage point. If she's waiting for me, it'd make more sense to wait from where she can see the entrance. Another possibility is that she wants to ambush me. That'd account for why she's hidden. Then maybe she got too caught up in her art and forgot about me. In that case, I should try to catch her off guard. Why am I overthinking this anyway? I have the upper hand here. I just need to move first. I should just be friendly, give her a good first impression. It'll still be a surprise attack, but not as aggressive. I stealthily step out of my hiding spot. With cat-like reflexes, I climb up the slide and grab one of the monkey bars near where I want to slide down next. I sneak behind the girl with the intention of surprising her before she can react to anything. Gotcha! Huh? She's gone? I fail my mission miserably and decide to survey the area just in case when I finally notice her running out of the park, fleeing with all of her art supplies in hand. Now what do I do? I scratch my head in confusion with no next plan of action until I gaze at the nearby garbage can. She probably hasn't yet realized that nobody comes here to empty the trash, seeing as it's filled with her scraps of paper from failed drawings. It's pretty full, so she probably comes here often. The scraps have all kinds of illustrations, clearly drawn by someone with natural talent, of animals and fantasy creatures one would expect from a movie. They aren't the work of an expert, but they have a quality that dazzles me, except for a small detail, what's written next to them. This one has a story that begins with an intercountry religion war that somehow ends with an intergalactic war with vampires. Another is about magicians summoning spirits in a post-apocalyptic city. Their enemy seems to be a gangster werewolf, also from space. This one stars a group of globe-trotting, demon-hunting mercenaries. The demons aren't from space this time, but hyperspace. This is giving me an aneurysm. The art's good, but the concept's not so much. There's too many cliches. I'm starting to wonder they're all actually parodies. Maybe she's mocking me, or maybe these are clues of some kind. While busy putting my detective skills to the test, I slip on something and lose my balance. Looking down, I find that the culprit is a common drawing pencil. That's weird. I saw her using this a minute ago. For her to drop it like that, she must have been in a pretty big hurry. Then I realized something. This happened to me at the pond, too. I was talking out loud without noticing. She must have heard me while I was rambling behind the tree, and I must have scared her. That must be why she ran away. She has to be involved with that email business. She ran away because I was about to catch her. Okay. I can't let things end like this, right? We have unfinished business, my dear nameless artist. "1,000 lives, ladies and gentlemen." I need a vocal break. As you can hear, my voice is not the 100% at the moment. So I do apologize for kind of my grating accents and whatever. Blah blah blah. Okay. Let's head back to it, shall we? No, wait, what am I doing? I mean, yeah, okay, maybe I just got caught up in all the excitement. Let's just say that sometimes I get lost in thought and maybe lose control of myself. It's because of those kinds of situations that I'd rather take things slowly and consider my options first. When I decide to improvise, nothing good ever comes of it. After leaving the playground, I'd tried to catch up with a mysterious girl before I lost sight of her, while also trying to be careful as to not let her see me. I couldn't just approach her with other people around. They might get the wrong idea if she goes on the defensive or accuses me of something. Finding the ideal moment was essential, although I think my decision was bad since I decided to hide inside of a cardboard box. Like in that one kid's game, every time she'd make an unexpected movement, I'd stop and conceal myself under the best possible camouflage ever. It was an easy task, considering my 35 years of experience as a triple agent for some of the most important spy agencies in the world. Well, no, to be honest, it was just an excuse to spy on someone while hiding inside a cardboard box. It was on my bucket list. My intentions were good, and that's all that matters, right? It was a pity that everyone kept pointing me out. It sure didn't help my stalking. What's their problem with people who like hiding in cardboard boxes? If it becomes a trend, you'll all come begging me for it to help. Still, I have to say that it was incredibly uncomfortable. It's a good thing that I'm the kind of person who follows his convictions through to the end, no matter what. By staying well hidden, I was able to continue following my target. After changing streets, the target changed directions at an intersection and went down a street I knew well, since I usually take it on my way to school. It was hard to keep up with her the whole way. I'm not good at sports. In fact, I'd say I'm below average as far as proficiency is concerned. Not that it's easy to sprint while wearing a box. But that girl seemed to be competing for the 20-kilometer power walking Olympic gold medal. Why was she in such a hurry? We passed by a flight of stairs. That would have been a good place to stop, take the stairs down and return home. I even lived nearby, too. What a pity that my common sense was turned off or out of range. Maybe the cardboard box stopped the connection from getting through. Finally, we reached an apartment block, forcing me to leave my companion cube behind. I discreetly followed behind her and used my front door to catch my foot to catch the door before it slammed shut. Then I snuck into the lobby. In for a dime, in for a dollar. By then I'd probably lost sight of my objective. I ran up the stairwell as quickly as I could while my target used the elevator and found myself in front of the apartment she entered only moments ago. The pursuit should have ended there, but then she came back out of her apartment. It took less than a minute for her to reappear, having left all of her art supplies inside. Luckily, I was hidden out of sight in the stairwell. Imagine my surprise when she not only walked away, but she also left her apartment's door ajar. The thing is, I've never been good when it comes to resisting temptations, so I took a small peek inside. I saw a single light on in one of the rooms. That brings me to now. I'm shamelessly breaking into a girl's apartment. I was drawn to the light like a moth to a flame, seeing as the rest of her apartment was veiled in darkness. She's definitely living here. The walls are filled with pictures of her friends, and family. It's a bit messy overall, but my room's still worse. At least here I can actually see the floor. She even has some sports trophies on display. The closest thing to trophies you can find in my room is my figure collection. Worst of all, I can't find any clues to the mystery. My package definitely isn't here, and there isn't any evidence that she knows me somehow. I shrugged before deciding to leave, but not before returning the pencil I found at the playground and placing it on her desk. I figure it's the least I can do now. At first I thought about leaving it with the rest of her art supplies, but I couldn't find them, so on the desk it goes. I make my way through the darkness and out of her apartment, quietly grumbling and wondering how I can be so unlucky. The front door is difficult to open, even using my full strength, because the frame is so close to the door, making it resistant to movement, but carefully I managed to quietly open the door. Isn't it hilarious how easily I can just close the door again? Sweat is suddenly pouring down my body quicker and harder than any monsoon. She, the mysterious artist, is now standing on the other side of the door. Not that it's weird, considering this is her home, but why'd she come back so soon? Why is she always in such a hurry? Calm down, Karen. Calm down. She's outside. She saw you, but it isn't the end of the world. I got it. I can jump out through the window. It's only the top floor, and I can fly away. Yes, fly away. What am I saying? The adrenaline rush isn't letting me think clearly. My mind is foggy, and it feels like my thoughts are at odds with each other. On one hand, there's a chance that she's the culprit of the malevolent email. If that's the case, then she won't think it's weird that I'm here and we can talk it through. On the other hand, she might not have anything to do with that, and it'll look like I'm a common thief who sneaks into my victims' homes. I'll have to take everything into careful consideration. In some places, they take me out back and shoot me for being here. Wait a minute. I've got an idea. Yes, an idea. It isn't a good one, I know, but it's better than trying to fly away, and that's good enough for me. Actually, I don't even know if it'll help me, but it's already too late. I have to try. I take a deep breath, release it, and then brace myself to speak quickly enough that the artist won't have a chance to respond until I'm done. Hello in the name of freedom! Ha ha! This is the second floor, not third, right? You commies sure build weird houses. In America, we build real houses with real first floors, none of that ground floor crap. And why you gotta call it ground floor anyway? It's got a freaking proper floor, don't it? Who even calls it that? Speak American, why don't you? No hard feelings, right? I come in peace. Don't y'all worry. I'm from America. America is the gospel of the new world. As long as you believe in freedom, so too will I believe in you. Everyone is American at heart. Hallelujah. Praise Jesus. If you exist, America will come for y'all. Freedom is just like real American hamburgers everywhere. Every man, woman, and child of the world that isn't a freedom-hating baby Jesus killing terrorist foreigner kebab and feels the power of freedom in his or her heart is a child of America, a brother in arms. Won't y'all let your brother into your house? You castle, my casa. Ain't that what y'all Mexicans always say? Ha ha ha. God bless his country, little girl, and God bless you. Ha 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 ha. The girl, overwhelmed by my pseudo-patriotic spirit, takes a couple steps backwards, speechless. She doesn't scream, just asks who I am. I decide to really get into character and speak with the composure of a true American hero and the grace of one of the founding fathers of the Constitution. Remember my name, little girl, because I'm only saying it once. The name's John. John Mackenzie. The lights suddenly go off, and I opt to take the opportunity to run to the stairwell and flee like a hillbilly is taking potshots at me. I would love to say that the miracle was thanks to the soul of Benjamin Franklin, summoned by my patriotism, who then destroyed the electrical system. Sadly, that wasn't it. It was thanks to the automatic timer on the apartment that turns off the porch lights after several minutes to conserve energy. It wasn't part of the plan, but I ran with it anyways. What I'm focusing on right now is escaping as quickly as possible. I'm running out of time after all. Soon the lights will turn on again and... Thief! I knew it. I was supposed to be the good guy. How did it turn out like this? And why did they ever think pretending to be American was a good idea? At least I managed to get some distance, I guess. I'm cursing my bad luck when I hear the sound of the elevator moving. It must be the girl trying to catch me. I'm already bad at improvising, but I'm even worse under pressure. I stumble a couple of times on my way down the stairs. That's just a risk one takes when jumping down, 5 steps at a time, though. How unfortunate that my fear became a reality. Right before I could sprint out of the building, the elevator arrives at the bottom. There's no other way to escape. The building is narrow and each floor only has an elevator, a set of stairs, and 2 apartments. I could try to push my way out, but I don't want an assault charge on me too, which would happen considering my awful luck. I decided to run back the flight of stairs when one of the apartment doors behind me opens, revealing one of its other residents. What was that scream just now? It came from upstairs. Is everything all right? While the distracted tenant goes up the stairs, I take the opportunity to sneak into his apartment before he returns. Yes, I'm sneaking to another apartment. So what? Who even cares at this point? I've been having a brain fart for too long. I can't think. After I enter the apartment, I push aside the curtains, concealing the glass doors to the balcony, and walk onto it. There doesn't seem to be anyone else in the apartment, and I can't come up with any other way to escape anyhow. Shrouded by the darkness, I search for some way to make my exit via the balcony. The apartment is only on the 2nd floor, so I'm safe to jump down, but I prefer to just climb down using the lower floor's barred window. I make sure that the fall is less than 3 feet, and I'm out. Surprisingly, my escape went smoother than expected. It was almost too easy. I can't believe it as I caress my right leg. I expected it to ache from the pressure of that jump. Thankfully, everything seems fine, and I'm totally unharmed. I stop wasting time and begin running, overjoyed the whole way home. Everything happened so fast. I tried to convince myself that it was all just a bad dream and tomorrow I'll forget about it. For some reason, though, I can't stop laughing. And that is chapter 1, ladies and gentlemen. My voice is not, I don't think, we'll save this. Okay. So, so I think that'll be it for this one. I do it a chapter at a time, or maybe I'll tackle multiple chapters depending on chapter length and stuff like that. But I really love this story. Like I said, I've read through the whole thing, and it's very entertaining. It's so eclectic and very just whimsical. And at first, I was having issue with the fact that it's kind of a high school story, but the more you get into it, it's not a very shallow story like what you would think. It's just a really fun story with kind of deep meaning interwoven. It's very fun, very fascinating. And the other thing is the music too. Matter of fact, you know what? I'll show you some of the music from the game, and I'll do this so that you guys can't see some of the secrets. We'll save the secrets for later, but I'll play you some of the music. Let me get there, because the music is really good. Like the intro music. If we listen to the intro music here. In fact, I'll turn it up. Like the intro is just it's just really beautiful, you know? This jazz feel to it. Just like, and the cool thing is the music is available separately. You can get the soundtrack. I don't know who did the music, but you did an excellent job. I love this. Oh. Are you kidding me? I guess it wasn't such a big deal, but I just realized I live streamed. Crap. I did the whole live stream without any audio. Rats. Crap. Dag nabbit. Okay. So I'm going to show you this. This is the music room. Seeing how you missed out on all the music because someone was an idiot and didn't. I suck. I'm sorry, guys. So here's the first piece. I love this solo. This. It's beautiful. Let's check out this one. This is another good one. Let's try this one. Like, it's so eclectic, but it's really good. That was cool. A lot of the music, it reminds me of stuff you would hear in an anime. This is very smudge structured, like an anime manga kind of deal. Like that, definitely something.
Pikachu, I choose you. Pikachu, do Thunderbolt.
Like that's what There's some good music. But that one, the intro, this is just the game over. Xander Noriega. Oh, matter of fact, oh cool, I can pull up their SoundCloud. Xander Noriega, I really liked his stuff there. Yeah. It's good stuff. It really is cool. This is an awesome... Whoops. I disappeared there for a second. It's a really awesome novel. I definitely recommend you check it out. But yeah, I think I'm going to stop there for today. Hopefully next time what we'll do is we'll go through chapter 2, maybe more. Not quite sure when. I should really set up a better way to notify people if they're ever interested. Maybe do a Twitter or something. I'm not really savvy. I do everything on YouTube. But we'll work on that. But I love the music. That's pretty cool. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching. If you've watched this live or if you're watching the recording of this, I apologize for... The music is such a big part of it. I feel real bad about it now. But essentially all this, like, the 3 videos that I posted... Oh, we're still playing music now. I don't want to... I was going to keep playing it. Okay. Well, okay, I'll have to exit. I'll just exit that for now. But yeah, definitely check it out. And you guys can really help me out if you, whether you're watching this live stream or if you're watching it recorded after the fact, which is most likely. If you could, if you want to see more stuff like this, please comment, like, subscribe. I really appreciate it. Also, like, if you want to, if you have other graphic novels that you'd like me to do readings of and do horrible voices of, I don't know. What do you guys think about some of the voices? I think some of them, like the female voices, I can't do very well. Like, should I read it all in my voice, or any suggestions? Because, you know, especially if my voice isn't doing so well, and I don't want to be grading and just absolutely annoy the crap out of you guys. But yeah, let me guys know what you think, and please comment, like, subscribe if you liked it, or if not, or if you have any constructive criticism, definitely appreciated. I think we're gonna end it there. I really appreciate you guys for watching. It's really awesome to have you guys here, and keep an eye out for chapter 2 and beyond in the future. My name is J. Alex Parker, and I'll see you around.